Thank you, Lord, for the food. Thank you, Lord, for the food's nutrients and the filling of the stomach. I pray that everyone have food, Lord, bountiful, plentiful, so bountiful and plentiful that they and we all have to share it out and help others. Thank you for the taste that you put in our mouths for the food. Thank you for letting our stomachs accept the food and the food have no taint. We thank you, oh gracious, powerful God that continues to bless us daily. New mercies every day, bountiful, plentiful. We just thank you for being that God and that God that sent his son, that Jesus, and still left us with the Holy Spirit. Thank you again for the food and nourishment of the body. May everyone have it. Thank you for being the source and thank you for the resources you use to. In Jesus' name I pray. And this is your day. Amen. Well, let me go get me some liquid. I have some food this morning I just made. It's actually very healthy, so I'm proud of myself. It is all protein. So I'm excited about that. So it's healthy. That's why I've got a pretty good size bowl. I take my little containers when I buy something from Walmart or Aldi, and it's in a microwavable tray. I just clean them and disinfect them, and I reuse them because they're great instead of pulling out a plate or a bowl every day or using 1,000 paper plates. Then I just take these little bowls. I've got all sizes because I buy, different things. So I've got little ones, round ones, square ones, oblong shape. Some of them are large. So these come in so handy because you just wash them and clean them, and then put your hot food in there as hot as you want it, or use it in the microwave. So handy. And I got this one pretty full. So I'm okay with eating this much, even though I probably won't finish it, because this is all protein. So I can have all the protein I want. And this is collard greens, kale, tuna with oil, scrambled eggs, and fresh cut Roma tomato. Let me go get me a liquid because I know as soon as I start eating, then I'm going to be wanting a liquid. All right, I'm back. Tuesday morning blessings. Yeah, I went to bed last night. I had on my ceiling fan. Then I had on my big comfy cozy blanket, and it is really warm. And then I have to sleep with some type of noise. So I had my TV on, but I didn't have it up real loud. So I had to turn on my little oscillating fan. And y'all, with all my apparatuses on, oh, and then I had my Christmas lights over here on my little ficus tree. I went to bed, went on right to sleep, cozy, didn't waste no time. But I woke up this morning and I was freezing to death. Like I had to use the restroom. I couldn't even get out of bed because I was so cold. I had laid there and got relaxed and slept quite well, praise the Lord. But I was so cold, I was like, I can't get up. I could barely get up. As it got even colder during the night. But if I tell you that was the best sleep, I said, ooh, I need to reenact that. Christmas lights on my ficus tree. So it felt like a little cozy hotel room. Ceiling fan going, oscillating fan over here making that zoo zoo noise, and then the TV. Ooh, that was some good sleeping, y'all. But I woke up frozen. But got everything turned off. It's actually warm now. Ooh, this is good. It's a good combination. Collard greens, kale, tuna with oil. And y'all, that if you have an Aldi grocery store, get the Aldi's tuna. They got it in water, of course, and they got it in oil. It's something about that tuna from Aldi. It's different. Like I used to get Walmart's tuna. There's something about that Aldi tuna. It's like it's already got like a seasoned taste to it. And I know it ain't no seasoning in there. It's just tuna and oil or tuna and water, but it's something so different about that Aldi's tuna. And I got some tomatoes. It's good. I used to remember back in the day when my mother would go to the grocery store, get like ketchup, mustard, hamburger buns, stuff like that. And so she would say, "I'll get ready. We're going to the grocery stores." So that meant we was going to about 3 or 4 stores. Walmart, Kroger, Winn-Dixie, and somewhere else she used to go. But I remember as a child, we would get ready and she would get us a little snack, like an apple or something. And I used to wonder as a child, I'm like, well, this one grocery store got everything. Why is she going to all these different ones? But she had a list. She went to those different stores, and later on I asked her, and she's like, well, this store has this product that I like that tastes better. This store has I like their fruits and vegetables better. And I was thinking in my mind as a child, ain't it all the same? But it's not. And when I got older, I realized that now I'm just like my mother. I actually would drive to I have 4 stores that I go to get my food because I like certain things from Walmart. I like certain things from Aldi, certain things from Kroger. And then, of course, the Dollar Tree have some things that throw you off guard because you never know what they're going to have. And when they do have it, you better get it, especially if it's a good product. And most of their products, I must say, are good. Like, I love their hot sauce. And you get the big old tall thing of it. And they've also got a buffalo wing sauce. And it's $1.25. The thing is huge. And what I do, I mix them together sometimes. And it gives it a unique flavor. And I love going in the Dollar Tree because, like I went in there the other day, they had boiled peanuts. Let me show them to y'all. Let me go get the canister. Boiled Cajun peanuts. I've seen these boiled Cajun peanuts, and I saw people talking about, oh, boiled Cajun peanuts are delicious. And I was like, I've seen them, but I don't want to pay no $5 for a little old can of boiled Cajun peanuts. And you can get them also from like some like little convenience stores. But let me show y'all what I found at the Dollar Tree. found these at the Dollar Tree. Boiled peanuts, and I got the Cajun flavor. They had original, but I like my spicy. So I got the Cajun flavor. $1.25. Only 120 calories. 5 grams of protein. 0 grams of cholesterol. And the way you eat them, you can pop them open and enjoy them straight from the can. Or, let me read this right. Okay, heating and eating. For the tastiest results, our boiled peanuts should be heated in our fine brine or just pop open and enjoy. First of all, the brine that's in here has a unique taste to it. You could drink this brine. It tastes like garlic. Well, I'm going to get to see what's in it. Okay, so it says you can just pop them over and eat them. Stovetop, pour it in the can, pour it in your trusty saucepan, and warm it up to your preferred temperature. Microwave, which is what I did. Microwave, place the peanuts and brine into a microwave safe dish, cover and cook on high for 1.5 to 2 minutes. So I microwaved them. Leftovers, I didn't have no leftovers though. You can store the South's favorite snack in the fridge for 5 days in an airtight container or a resealable bag. I didn't have no leftovers. But let's see what's in them. And like I said, I got the Cajun. They got the original nut, but I got the Cajun for the flavor. So let's see what's in here. And it says from roadside stands. Remember stopping for boiled peanuts on those family road trips, tailgating, and getting together? Now you can enjoy slow kettle cooked peanut patch from our thousands of convenience stores, kettles, and food store cans anywhere, anytime. That's why I'm going back. They had a lot of them, y'all. I mean, a bunch of them, and nobody was getting the Cajun. It was a whole bunch of the original and like a few of the Cajun. So I'm going to go back, Lord willing, and hope nobody got those other Cajun ones, and I'm going to get me some more of them because these are normally about $5 a can. So for $1.25, well worth it. But let's see what's in here. Peanuts, water, salt, sugar, red pepper flakes, monosodium glutamate, granulated garlic, granulated onion, erythorbic acid, natural flavor, canola oil, paprika, ascorbic acid, topa something preservatives, rosemary, rosemary extract, and sunflower oil. So basically it's peanuts, water, salt, sugar, red pepper flakes, granulated garlic, granulated onion, canola oil, rosemary. That's why it tastes like meat. This is so weird because when I tasted these boiled peanuts and even the brine, I kept saying, wow, if I didn't know no better, so this tastes like I'm eating little pieces of meat. That's why, because it's got that rosemary and garlic in there. These, y'all, it'll make you want to keep eating them. Like I said, I microwaved mine up. And once I got started eating them, I kept on eating them. And that brine is so flavorful. It make you want to drink the brine. Matter of fact, I did drink the brine because it tasted like a meaty soup. Like if somebody made like a real good soup with a bunch of meat in it and the juices. But I'm going to go back to that Dollar Tree, Lord willing. And I'm going to get me about 3 or 4 more cans. Let me check my chat. Good morning, Lena. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, my beautiful Lena. I'm over here ranting and raving about some boiled peanuts that I found at the Dollar Tree store. And I'm having like a protein breakfast. I'm having collard greens, kale, tuna in oil, uh, scrambled eggs, and tomato. So pretty healthy. So I got a good sized bowl of it. It's delicious too. What I was talking about, Lena, was how my mother used to go to 4 different grocery stores to get different things from different products. That's how I got started talking about those boiled peanuts, because I normally see them in little convenience stores and they're expensive. And then I got in the Dollar Tree and there they are. So that's why I'm gonna go back and get me some more. They are good. But my mother went to different stores because according to the store, the product, that's the flavor or the brand that she liked, and I agree. Well, let me go put these up. Very, very, very good product. Very good product. Alrighty. Alright, I had to go put those boiled peanuts up because if I'd have kept that can sitting there, I'd have been in there warming them up. You know how you look at something and then you say, oh, Lord, I want that now. I want to eat that. It's just like when I watch my YouTube videos. Ooh, and I see people cooking some food, and all of a sudden I want that food right then and there. It just makes me hungry. And then it's like, oh, I want that right now. But so far, so good. This is all healthy. No carbohydrates in it. So, I'm very satisfying too. Got a good taste to it. It got really cold here, y'all. Like it got real cold like late yesterday evening and colder over in the night. And now it's already warming up just that quick. Of course, that's the sun is up. I'm hoping everybody don't get sick. Yeah, the flu that's going around. Now they say it's like the flu mixed with the other stuff. Let's just say that. They're calling it the super flu. They're saying it's 3 different strains in it. But they are saying that one part of the strain is like the flu, one part is like something else, and the other is like what we had back in 2020, if you know what I mean. So, I don't know. I just do know with the weather changing, with it being cold, and then all of a sudden it warm back up, then it go back down to cold. And like for me, I started sniffling because I have tile floors. And I don't like to have socks on. I don't like to wear socks unless, I have to. Like if I'm, out somewhere and have to wear a tennis shoe or whatever. But I actually had to put socks on my feet. I love my feet being out because I'm a warm natured person. And I had to put socks on. I got them on now. And I don't like wearing socks. I just like for my feet to be free. I've always been like that. Walking barefoot. My mom would tell us children, get in that house and get some shoes on before you catch a disease walking barefoot. And we were like, why are we going to get a disease, Mom? And she was like, the chickens are out here pooping. The dogs walk out here. And if you're walking with your bare feet, you might get worms. And woo, once she said that, we flew in that house and put some shoes on. But we were just, well, I was a tomboy. I'm going to tell you the truth. I was a tomboy. My mother, my oldest sister, who's 4 years older, was in the kitchen with my mom, cooking and doing all the ladies type stuff. And I was outside with my dad, running cows and chickens and riding horses bareback and all that. And I would just go outside, and I didn't need no shoes on. I knew where what we call the sticklebergs were, the little things that poke you in the foot. And then, after you go out there for a while, your feet toughen up, and you just stop, pull it out, keep running and playing. But I had a bad habit of, well, I still can't help it. I don't like nothing on my feet. Even like during the wintertime, I've got boots, some cute boots. And I wear them when I go to church or if I'm going to a special occasion. But other than that, I have on flip-flops. Like it's cold right now outside. I'll get up, put on a little sweater, and put on them open-toe flip-flops. And I'm not the only one, because when I go to the store, I see other people. And it's so funny. I'll be telling my sister, I say, how you be in the store with a coat and a sweater on, but then you got on flip-flops? But that's what we do. But I do. Ooh, I just don't like socks on my feet. Like right now, they on my feet. But I can't wait for it to get a little warmer so I can rip them off. But yeah, see, I'm already getting full. I knew this was going to fill me up. So that's a good thing. And it's so good. Mm-mm. Mm. And what I'm going to do is eat one more bite. And then instead of being greedy, because it tastes delicious, I know I'm full. And again, this is collard greens, kale, scrambled eggs, all these tuna in oil, and fresh tomato with garlic and onions. Mmm. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mmm. Taste that garlic, that tuna, that kale, and them collard greens. See, I want to take another bite, but I'm not. Oh, I put some red pepper flakes in here too. You know what? I'm going to do one more bite. I'm going to do one more bite while it's still warm. Lord have mercy. It's really good. Really, really tasty. Mmm. And it's healthy. Mm-mm-mm. No guilty pleasure here. It's healthy. I still got some left, y'all. A bunch. And that's the thing, I was listening to on one program, and the guy was like, you don't have to substitute flavor and taste, to be healthy. And then he said, don't even think of being on no diet. He said, just eat good and eat healthy. And I got up this morning, and I love collard greens and kale. I love my collard greens cooked. Kale, I can eat it raw in a salad, or I can eat it cooked. But I had mixed some kale with my collard greens when I cooked them. And Lord have mercy. We can actually take like that same collard green and kale and turn it into a soup, a chicken soup. It's the best thing you want to have. I cooked those collard greens and kale with a smoked turkey neck, or actually some big old smoked turkey necks. So it picked up like that flavor, that umami flavor. And I got the big old bowl of it still sitting in there. I've been eating off of it and eating off of it. And this morning I was so hungry. And last night I was talking about making my patty melt because I made a piece of meat that I'm making like a sourdough jack patty melt because I got this jalapeno and cheddar sourdough bread. So I got the meat ready. Of course, I got the bread. I just need to assemble it. But I want to do it right. And I wanted to eat it last night, but I said, no, I ain't going to do it right. I want to go in there and make it look pretty. And I want to see it looking nice. Put my sliced tomato, my horseradish sauce. But I tell you what, getting back to the flavor profiles and eating healthy but good at the same time, I went in there and I said, okay, why don't you just eat some more greens and smoked turkey necks? Greens, kale, smoked turkey neck. Then I said, no, I'm craving something else now. And then I said, well, I do have eggs. I can make an omelet. That's what I went in there to do. And once I got in there, I said, no, I want some tuna now. I'm telling you, when your taste is changing and you're trying to eat healthy all the time, your taste buds will take you everywhere. They'll have you, I want this, I want that. Then they'll say, oh, I want something sweet now. I want a cookie or a piece of cake. But what I did, and that's how God is so good. God calmed me down, took me up in there. He said, go ahead and take your tuna out. Put some black pepper in that, a little garlic, and let that start cooking because I get the tuna with oil. Then he said, okay, well, go on and pull out you 2 eggs. I said, oh, okay. I took out 2 eggs. Then I've got this butter garlic seasoning. He said, put a little bit of that on there. Put that on there. That oil that was in that tuna was simmering, and it was making them eggs fluff up. And I put that little bit of butter garlic season. He said, now get your kale and greens out. And I knew where it was going, so I got it out, and I just kept putting just a little bit in the skillet, because it's a little bitty tiny skillet, like for 1 serving. And then I stirred it up, and he said, now cut you up some fresh Roma tomatoes. So I cut up about 1/4 of a Roma tomato. And if I tell you, I want some black pepper and some red pepper flakes. It is so delicious. I really want to take another bite. I'm going to try to hold on another second. It's good, though. But you know what? It filled me up so quick. And that's that kale. That kale fills you up. And then the flavor that's in here. So really, to be honest, I should put this up and wait until another couple of hours. And then when I want another snack, I could finish this. But it smells so good right now. And it absolutely tastes wonderful. You know, you put garlic in anything and got all them smoked flavors and stuff like that in it from that turkey that I cooked the kale and collard greens. Just smelling the food make you want to eat. So I'm going to put it, you know what? No, I'm going to put it up. If I put it right here, I'm going to eat this. But y'all, it tastes so good. But try that. And that's another thing, like just using your leftovers. Like I made the collard greens and kale on Sunday. And so like now, here we are on Tuesday. You know, we done ate off of them and we still eating off of them and going to continue to eat off of them because this, I could duplicate something else. As a matter of fact, I was talking about the collard green and kale and making a chicken soup. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do to create another meal. Let's go in here and take out some chicken. And then I've got the collard greens and the kale. And I've already got some other vegetables. And I think I'm going to make us a nice, like, collard green, kale, chicken soup. Like a soup / stew. I want it to be like a soup, but I want it to be hearty like a stew. That's why I say I got some more vegetables in here that I want to use too. It's really going to be something that I throw together like my mom and my grandmother used to do. They'd go up in there with anything and you're like, oh, this is good. Where's the recipe? It ain't no recipe, and it really don't. So I'm thinking I'm going to go in there and take out, oh yeah, I think I'm going to take out, I got 4 giant drumsticks. Y'all, the chicken drumsticks are so big, they look like turkey legs. I kid you not. And I was saying to myself when I bought them, I said, "Ooh, I want to barbecue these." I said, "But they're too big. They're not gonna get done in the middle. Even if I marinated them, they're like a turkey leg, and it's for them. And that's perfect because I can go take those out, put them in my Instant Pot. They gonna make that good old chicken broth, and then go in there and add in my vegetables. Ooh, and that's easy too. Throw in my vegetables, pressure cook that a little bit, and let that sit and naturally release. And then everybody just come in with them a big bowl and get a big hearty bowl of chicken soup with heart. Oh my God, I got some cilantro. Oh, I think I'm gonna do that, y'all. Oh God, do I want to do that? Today is Tuesday. We're not having no tacos. I think I want to go in here and make the hearty chicken soup slash stew. Ooh, that sounds good. And put that all in there. And then around this afternoon, everybody be ready for something good and hearty. Temperature start dropping back down. And also serve up some of that sourdough bread. Serve up some of that jalapeno and cheddar sourdough bread. Well, let me go put this up. This will be my additional snack in a minute. And I'll be right back. I'm going to go in here and take out my chicken legs because, honey, I'm going to go ahead and I want to just take them out for now and let them kind of semi-thaw and then throw them in that Instant Pot. I could throw them in there frozen, but I'll just let them sit out. Let me see what time it is. Oh, yeah, it's only like 9:20. So I could take my chicken out, wait till about 10:30, 11, then put it in an Instant Pot, cook it off real good, get that broth going, get that chicken all the way done. And then all I have to do is wait, let it sit, throw in those vegetables, throw in the kale and the collards and the tomatoes and the cilantro. I'll be right back. That's going to be good. Thank you for the recipe, Lord. Mm, mm, mm. All right. That's going to be easy. I had to stop and get me some cashews. Mm. Well, y'all. Mm. Well, y'all. Last night on the live, I shared one of my favorite uh, scriptures that I read. It's about the gathering demonic. If you didn't get a chance to watch that live last night, go check it out. Checking my battery. It's very interesting. It's one of my favorite Bible passages. It's in Mark and it's also in Luke. One thing I can say, God will give you peace. When you need peace, God will give you peace. And like you told me, for, this year to be more positive. Be more positive. Well, y'all, that food made me sleepy, y'all. Does anybody need prayer? Anybody have a testimony? Is there anything that you want to talk about this morning? $37. All right. I'm going to stay on here about 3 more minutes. If there's anybody that needs prayer, you want to give a testimony, or you just want to say hello, I'm going to be on here about 3 minutes or less. Go find me a scary movie. I need to stop. I'm going to find me a scary movie while it's daylight and watch that. There is a movie, y'all, you can watch on Tubi. Now, Tubi has some movies that are compromised. What I mean by that, you can't watch them. Too much graphic stuff, too much vulgar stuff. Let's just say, no. But I learned how to watch the Tubi movies and find the good ones. What I started, like one day I put in bear, like a wolf or a coyote, but I put in bear. And guess what it did? It brought up all the movies with bears in them. So I enjoyed myself. Actually, I found this movie called Dig Me No Grave. Dig Me No Grave. If you want to watch a good movie, and there's a lot of symbolism in it too. Ooh, that movie is good. But it's called Dig Me No Grave. And it's on Tubi. And Tubi is free. But like I said, you got to be careful with the Tubi app because it's got some movies that as soon as you click on them, you can click right on back out. But watch that movie called Dig Me No Grave. Within 13 minutes of the movie, it was on like you. I didn't even want to go use the restroom. I was like, I can't get up. I'm going to miss something. And the symbolism in that movie, it was good. And it was like, it had your frightening stuff. It had some like suspense. It had it all. I'm telling you, within 13 minutes of the movie, I couldn't even get up to go use the restroom. I was like, I gotta pee, but I can't move. I don't want to sport. I didn't even want to pause it. Of course I could have paused it, but I was like, no. I just want to see it. I want to see this through. It was really good. Matter of fact, I might watch that again. But the key with watching the Tubi movies, put in keywords search and search for movies that, just say if you like, me, I like scary movies. But you got to be careful with the scary movies and the horror because it'll bring up some old crazy mess. But like for me, I put in bear. Then later on, I went in and put in wolf. And it brought up a bunch of movies with wolves where this one man was out there. They didn't know that the wolf was stalking them. And they kept hearing them, but they didn't know that those wolves was really surrounding them. Then they got lost. So imagine you hearing wolves. Y'all, I saw a wolf in person in my hometown. I kid you not. My siblings can, and my mother can prove it. When they show a wolf on TV, he looks like the size of about a dog to me. No, ma'am. When I was in my hometown and it was a holiday, this man had his real life pet wolf with him. Y'all, the wolf, I kid you not, that thing was huge. He was tall. Even his head was big, and the people coming out the store. Actually, we were at Walmart, and people was getting their children and pulling them to him and going the opposite direction, knowing their car was parked right there. And then that one lady walked by. She said, "Yeah, be careful. That wolf mess around and get the wrong scent, and those things will do that." And the man standing up there, first of all, he looked like something was wrong with him. I'm gonna tell the truth. He looked like he had been living in the woods for about 70 years, but had to come into town for some reason. And he had that wolf, and then he had the nerve to have the thing wrapped around his hand. I'm like, man, that wolf is the size of a horse. If that wolf want to take off and bite somebody, you ain't gonna be able to hold him. And he's standing up there, and then he was looking like, it's okay, it's okay. He don't bite, he don't bite. Y'all, everybody, even the big burly men that was coming into that Walmart, them burly men was looking like, you better get that thing out of here. Because my hometown where I'm from, I'm not going to say that. The hometown from where I'm from is country. And when it's country, it's country. You know, people take care of their own. And them big burly men looked like lumberjacks, had they wives and their children. And they was looking over there like, if we got to get this wolf today, man. Everybody was looking like, why does he have this thing out here? And then the wolf was standing there looking and then sniffing like, and when they started that sniffing that, I said, I don't think so. What if you got an open cut on you and that thing smell blood? What if you're a female on your cycle and that thing smell blood? And he was sniffing he was sniffing for something, and they only sniff for blood or they're hunting something down. And then that one guy, he told him, he said, man, this is not the place where you're gonna have that here. He said, we've got women and children here, and people are trying to shop. And then he's like, oh, he don't bite. And I think somebody went in there and told the Walmart manager of the store, because we walked the whole way around. We wouldn't go, and then everybody was like quiet, like what? Y'all, that wolf, I tell you what, he was about, let me see. He had to be like almost 5 feet tall standing up. And his legs were strong. Like, I thought a wolf, like I said, was about the size of a big dog. No, ma'am, no, sir. And his head was about 3 times or 4 times the size of a human head. And he was a real life wolf. No. But anyways, getting back to that, what I do now on Tubi, I go in there and look up bear, wolf, scary movie, horror. I do things like that if I want to watch like a thriller. Like the one movie I watched was where the people went on vacation. Now this was crazy. The people went on vacation to get away from all of the rigmarole in the city. The young girl didn't want to go. It was the daddy, the mother, and the young girl. She was 16, so she was like, I don't want to go. I don't leave my friends. And they were like, well, we need to get away as a family. We just all need to get away. Went out there to the most beautiful lake house ever. The mom went in there. The mother was already pretty. And what I liked about this, it showed each different character. The dad walked out, mother slash identity, like, you know, being a wife. She went in there and it had all the like sauna, jacuzzi stuff, and she had her hair up, and all of a sudden she was so inspired. The place was so pretty and smelling good. She pulled her hair down, and then she like clutched her little robe like, I'm still pretty. So she was like, oh. So she got in there and took a luxurious bath and went on in there, and they already had their little food in there. She's like, I'm going to make a leg of lamb, And some of those potatoes you like. So she was inspired. So the daddy was out there, made sure things were safe. He was like, "Oh, it's so pretty, but we are isolated, but that's going to be a good thing. No cell phones, no business deals, no nothing." And then the wife was like, "Oh, I feel pretty again." You know, you could be in the right environment and all of a sudden you feel like you looking cute. But she did that, and then she went on in there to make the delicious dinner. But then a teenage girl at first was like, "I hate this, and I can't even reach my friends. There's no reception up here." And the daddy was like, "Well, we ain't using no phones no ways. This is our retreat for 3 days." The little girl, well, not little girl, she was 16. She went on up in there and she found some things she liked. She was like, "Maybe this can work. This is nice." So now the crazy part is the last text she had sent her boyfriend was, "We're in the mountains somewhere," or blah blah blah. "There's no reception. I'll talk to you later." But the boy got it. But see, they didn't show that. They were in there having dinner. It was a very nice place. Here come a stranger knocking on the door. Remember, the place is isolated. But a stranger come knocking on the door, so the daddy went to the door, and some guy was out there. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my car. Do you think I could just come inside and make a phone call real quick?" And then the dad was like, "We don't have no reception out here." He said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "But I thought I would try anyway." And he's like, "Well, do you think I could just get some water? I think it's just my, whatever you call that thing that you always got to put water in it under your hood." Whatever, he said that word. So the dad was like, "Well, yeah, I'll give you some water. I'm sure it's a gallons around here somewhere, and that'll help you get on your way." So then the wife was like, "Oh, it's so cold. Let's just let him come in." And then the daddy was looking at her like, "No." But then the guy was like, "Oh, I would thank you." And he said, "Stop down the road a minute." So I have been out there a while, but I finally made it here, and saw y'all, here. So they let him come in, and what did they do that for? So the husband went to get all the water jugs so they could fill up his, whatever that is where you put the water in when the car running hot. And in the meantime, the man comes in, so the lady gave him some hot tea or hot chocolate, and the young daughter came downstairs. She was like, "Who is that? We're out here in isolation." And then the mother was like, "Oh, this lovely man here has had car trouble, but he's just getting, your dad is getting some water to put in his car, and he'll be on his way, but we're just warming him up in the meantime." Y'all, it went from there, and I ain't gonna tell you the rest. I'm gonna get the name of that movie. The whole thing was a setup, y'all, and it was horrible, horrible. And the stuff that then I started thinking the dad set it up, but then they did horrible stuff to the daddy, to the wife, and to the young girl. And I thought the dad had set it up, and I was like, maybe that's why he brought them out there on that retreat, to have something done to them so he could move on with a different life. But at the end of the movie, y'all, it wasn't, because he got away, and the way they was up in there torturing him and stuff. But the daddy, hey, well, he actually was unconscious, and that's when I was like, how could you do your wife and your daughter like that? But he wasn't in on it, because the way he was acting at first, I was like, nah, he didn't set that up to get them out there. But he wasn't. He finally, well, the bad people, because some more of them came, and after they were looking for money. You know how they always say, "We need $1.2 million in our accounts by the night," or "We cutting off a finger," or "We cutting off a toe." You know how they do that stuff. So that's what the intruders were doing. And then the dad was like, "We don't have anything. That's why we out here. We don't have anything. I stopped doing crazy business deals." He said, "We don't have anything." And then lo and behold, they had beat them all up real bad. And then it showed like the dad was dead. And at the end, the girl was still alive. She had been tortured, but she was still living. And then it showed her running in the woods, some kind of way that one of those intruders trusted her, and she took out running. She just ran out like into the woods, and it just showed her feet running, and she could just hear her going, just her breath and her feet running. And I was like, "Girl, run, run, get away." Then all of a sudden, it showed the daddy running with a chair tied to his back. And he had got out too. And then he took that chair and broke it up against a tree. And then he had a concussion where he had been beaten, tortured, and he was running. And that guy was after the girl. He realized she's gone. She's got away. We got to get her before she get to the water. And they didn't know that the girl was a swimmer, y'all, an avid elite swimmer. That girl made it to that water. Oh, and when she dived in that water, you just saw her feet and then she just went splash. So I was like, oh my God, is she gonna make it? But she dived off into that water. It was like a big old river and that water was just going. But she jumped off in there and then she didn't come back up. I said, oh, she got out but didn't get away. And then it showed her daddy break that chair off of him and then he was running. Oh, y'all, it was so good. I'm going to get the name of it, but it ended up being a thriller. A good thriller movie. So you can watch some good movies on Tubi, but you gotta what do they call that? You gotta do your due diligence on it to where just look at search different titles, different things, and find the ones that are don't have all the vulgar crazy stuff in it, but where they are, because they do have some really good family movies. And they do have some good children's movie, believe it or not. I found some old school movies on there from like 1999, the real deal. And I'm like, what? Some stuff with Grizzly Adams. And I was like, you kidding me? We used to watch Grizzly Adams when I was a child. Ooh, if you watch Grizzly Adams, he was friends with that big old grizzly bear. But Grizzly Adams was out there by himself, and he tells his story how he got out there in the wilderness. But there's some good, free movie apps, but just streamline and be careful what you're watching because it'll just pop up crazy stuff, but you just weed that out and move on to another good movie. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm gonna run in here in the kitchen. Hold on. I've been on here 52 minutes. So if you'll hold on or if you're watching a replay, I'm gonna go in the kitchen and I think I'm gonna go and put this chicken in the Instant Pot. Give me 1 second. And I'll be right back with you. We got to talk about positivity, y'all. That's what the Lord gave me for this year. I'll be right back. I'm going to go in here and see if I can go ahead and get this chicken into the Instant Pot. If for some reason I can't, then I'll come back and bring y'all in the kitchen. But just give me about 1 minute. Go get you some popcorn and some hot chocolate. I'll be right back. My creepy door, y'all. All right, I'm back. 3 more minutes. And I'm going to go find me a movie. Whew. Had to get me some cashews. These things are so good. Mm, 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 mm. Well, down to 2 minutes. If anybody needs prayer, you have a testimony you want to share, or just say hello before I get off of here. Just know that God is good. He wants and has the absolute best for you. And nothing's going to stop that. God has some things for you going to blow your mind. And when he sends it to you, just be thankful and grateful and humble. Remember that. Remember you are watching this. When God opens that door or closes a door, does that healing, provides those resources, heals your mind, your body, and satiates you. You get up and you run with it. Stay humble. Stay faithful. You get up and you run with it, my beloved. Because it's for you. God did it for you. Another chance. You get up. Tell the Lord thank you. And you run your race. And don't you look back. Remember what the Lord has done for you. But you run your race and don't look back. Because God is doing a new thing for you. Well, I love you. God loves you more, my beloved. Powerful blessings are coming. Be blessed.